Hello, welcome back. This week we're going to be doing doodle tangles, and I wanted to show you one that I have been practicing. This one I believe came from a YouTuber by the name of Miss Betsy, I believe. So this is the best I can do with my camera setup. I don't have an arm above, so I do the best I can. So this one, you start lightly drawing, and you can make these as big or small, as wide apart or close together as you want. There's no right and wrong way. And then you take, and I like to make the top part of this, and I don't believe she had a name for this. Kind of looks like a waterfall to me. Go lightly with the pencil, because when you go back and draw over this with your micron pen, you can change where the lines are, make these bigger or smaller as you so desire. But I just found this one, I found it relaxing. And as you go back with the micron pen, you can change the shape of your doodles around here if you so desire. So that is your first part. I like these to be a little bit wider as they get down to the bottom. I'm going to end up erasing those anyway. All right, so then you have to be mindful. I'm going to use my smaller eraser. These sections in through here, you end up erasing those, and also these sections in here. So you have, because this is part of the shading and you don't want it to go through there. I suppose if you drew those light enough, you could just shade through there, but I think it looks kind of hokey if you do that. And again, I'm doing the best I can to keep this in the frame so y'all can see what I'm attempting to do here. Oh, get my eraser schnoz all over the place. Sometimes I gotta be mindful of, you know, where I'm coming down at. I lose track. All right. And I've got a variety of erasers for this. And then this one, I think is a little small, not wide enough. All right, so this part, and then these are all open. And this one, I'm gonna change that up a little bit. That one looks kind of wonky there. All right, so just for time's sake, then you just, oh well, you know, I'm not going to do all of that. So with the micron, so you would take your micron pen, this is an 01, and then just, and you don't have to be precise, because after you get done, and you have to be careful when you're doing this that you don't cross over the lines like this portion in here, and then you're coming across the top and you're going around the back. But this part right here is all staying open, all of this in here. So then you come down here, and again you're going across the front to the back, and then not going through there. Again, this is all open. This is open. I was wrong about that. So this does come down like that, and these come down like this. Come across the front. And as I said, I'm not going to do all of this because for time's sake. But I liked this one a lot. And then you would just come in with your eraser once you're done with that, and erase all of your lines that you no longer need. And then you would start your start your shading. And on this one, I like to go up this way. And on this side, just kind of follow the curves, and you can do different dimensional, just depending on how you curve this around. And afterwards, of course, you're going to put graphite in there. And again, this one is, am I in the picture? I am, yeah. Like I said, I'm sorry that I don't have an overhead boom yet. I'm working on that. And the same over here. and down the middle, generally I haven't been doing this that long. I kind of like these straight lines down the middle. The inside will probably be graphite in there. Where are those little total lines? Okay, so this one's got quite a bit. And then put some graphite in here. You can just use a pencil, or you can actually use a graphite pencil. And I find that to be very relaxing. And then, like I said, I'll finish doing this and putting more graphite down. And you can always come back with your marker and make those lines more pronounced. So let me show you one that I did earlier in the week. It's this design. And I put these have a name. I do not remember what they are, but in the doodling community, everything that you doodle has a name. And if I think of what those are, I'll tell you. But anyway, so that is what I've been practicing. Like I said, this came from a lady's YouTube channel called Miss Betsy, I do believe. This was one that she was showing. Now, whether or not that's one of her designs or not, I do not know the answer to that question. So I'm also working on flower doodles, and I'll have a video attached to the next section of this video, will be showing you the flower doodles that I have been working on. And in the last section, the last part of the video, or maybe it'll be the thumbnail, I would like to work on a garden. I believe I showed you that, a grid with the different flowers in it. I'm working on that one also. So again, this is just something that I really enjoy doing, and am just getting into it. And I find it very relaxing. Not so much so when I'm trying to do a YouTube video because of the wonkiness of how I have to sit here to keep it in the frame. But when I'm just doodling for my own relaxation, I find this very, very, very relaxing. And maybe it's a hobby that you would like to participate in, something that you would like to do. Just spend some time practicing drawing, practicing doodling. I'm practicing on this henna drum doodle. That is a floral. It's Henna drum. And it is by Jane McCougler, who she's a CZT, which is Certified Zen Tangler Instructor. But she's the one who came up with this henna drum design. And I'm going to do it in a smaller way, and I'm going to do the bigger size because it's hard for you guys to see when I'm doing the smaller one. So we start off do this little half circle. This isn't easy. I want to say that with the trying to do it on the camera, it isn't as relaxing as doing it when I'm not trying to film it because the camera's in the way and the stand's in the way and yada yada yada. So, and there again, there is no right and wrong way to do the tangles. It's just supposed to be a relaxing exercise, not something that causes you stress. And again, as I said, there is no right and wrong way to do it. Put a few little squiggles in there. And then the last one comes from over here and goes this way. Again, you put that little bump in there and then put your petals in. A few little ziggies in there. And then you can fill in these little teardrop shapes have a name in this community that does the doodles and the tangles. They everything has a name. And this tortillon, which has a lot of already has quite a bit of graphite on it, so just put a little graphite in some of these to again give you the idea of the shading that you can do. And as I said, I want to do a garden with these. So I want to do that. I'm going to do this as I did one earlier. This one, I will try this one more time. So it'll be a little bit bigger for you. All right. So we started and we did we did it over this way. Put that little bump in there. The little flower, the middle of the flower. And just put your petals in there. A few little squiggles. And then we went and we did, I didn't leave a lot of room here, so I'm gonna take this one up a little bit further because I didn't leave a lot of room there. Put the bump there. Put those in. Oh, that one really got funky. Well, they're not always what you want. Okay, and then we're gonna put one over here on this side. And again, put our petals in. And put one more over here. Put a few squiggles. Put some, where's my pen? I'll use this one instead. I have another graphite, but just to put a little graphite in there. Put a little shading in these teardrop areas. Oh, my hand is all up in there again, so I'll bet you're not even seeing too much of that. That was a pretty dark graphite pencil I had there. Like I said, that one got out of hand. That's really wonky right there. And you could put a little hatching in here for a little shading in there. And then we're going to try this Zafiro in a bigger size, which I don't think I've ever tried doing this one in a bigger size. So we'll see what we can do with that. Where are we in the picture? We are in the picture. So the noise that you're hearing upstairs, my husband is doing some construction upstairs. So the vacuum cleaner that you're hearing right now. Now you have to be mindful of the way that your marks go across here. Put that up in here like that. Let's see, we came across here. In here, I wanted this over here like that, and this over here like that. Okay, and then we're going to put a stem in here. Little graphite for shading up in here. Another one here. Get my Tortillon, or however you call these. Use some graphite around here. Put some over here. A little shading here. This is not my favorite one that I've done. I've never tried to do the bigger one like this. This Zafiro I really like as a smaller one. And I'm going to try to do a garden here. I'm not going to put it on a camera for you guys, so maybe it'll be a little bit neater. But I'm going to try to do a little garden with some of my favorite ones. This one and this one, the Zafiro and the Henna Drum, are a couple of my favorites. And I wanted to tell you the Zafiro is by Naomi, Naimia is the person who created the Zephiro, Zephiro. So we'll see how that looks for this episode, and I thank you for joining me. Oh no, this isn't going to be the end. I'm going to actually try to do a garden, and I'll put a little video, just a little clip of that, and that probably will be my thumbnail too. So see you soon. This is the last part of my video. I wanted to show you the garden that I did, that I was telling you about. Get that close enough to the camera so you can actually see it. Not not bad for my first attempt. I have a couple more grids that I have sketched out that I'm going to attempt 2 more gardens in here. I think I actually would like to do a much bigger size, maybe cover the whole page. So we'll see. If I actually do that, maybe I'll show it to you next week. But again, that was the garden that I was working on and that I told you about earlier in this video. And then I wanted to show you one last thing. I wanted to show you my completed doodle that I was doing. This was the one from Miss Betsy's website. The shading that I did on it. I finished this one this morning. And I got some shading issues that I still have to work on. I'm just learning about shading and where the light falls and what have you. But all in all, I'm not gonna cry about it. I think it turned out pretty good. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.